we've had a conversation, and I'm not even gonna lie, I wanted to talk about the situation with OceanGate and the submersible that they had imploded, and it was a little deeper than what I could do on my own segment show that I do, because it was a lot of stuff behind it. So as we know for a fact that it imploded, we know it imploded. 5 people lost their lives. A lot of people have been saying a lot of crazy stuff on the internet. And before we get into that specifically, I want to talk about the fact that it was all over the internet at first. Because that was the headline story that you could see on Instagram, on TikTok, in the newspapers, in the news media, on their channels and stuff like that. That was the only thing anybody was talking about. It kind of scared me a little bit because I was like, what else is going on in the world?
Well, for the moment, that's all that was going on in the world, in my opinion. I mean, it's just, when you say what, it's so much, man. And that's what, like, so many distractions, so many things going on here and there. But one thing I like to gauge society on is, like, what is it that everybody's talking about? And anytime I look at a post or any news feed, the cool thing that I think about today is you're actually getting a chance to see the comments. Like, how do people actually feel? And, dog, I don't even think people human anymore. Like, it's a tragedy, you know, anybody lose their life, especially like that. Like, you talking about somebody is on a submarine and that shit's imploding on you. You know what I'm saying?
Like a can crush.
Bruh, unimaginable. And it's like, they may have done, you may not agree with what they've done, but these folk got families at the end of the day.
True.
And I just, like I said, we talk about one thing that's missing in the world is just genuine compassion and love. And dog, I was seeing some comments and I was just like, God damn. And it was so crazy because a specific, I ain't even gonna go too deep into that. I'm just more so like, with everything else going on in the world, you would think you would bring light to these situations versus creating memes about, man, I done seen so much.
Not gonna lie, we're literally gonna go that deep right now, because before we get into that, I just want to say it was kind of funny when I was watching it. I was like, it seems more so as a distraction.
Okay.
Because the whole time that was going on, we had the whole Joe Biden, because we're gonna get into politics real quick, but Joe Biden and his administration, they accidentally had an accounting error where they sent $6.2 billion to Ukraine. And nobody talked about that. And then we have his son, Hunter Biden, who actually got off on pretty much tax evasion, 2 charges, $1 million+ that he didn't pay. And also he actually got a plea deal, or is getting a plea deal for a gun charge. This is why he's smoking crack. And anybody else with the gun charge alone will get 10 years. But with taxes, they locked up Al Capone, and let's just go to modern day, they locked up Wesley Snipes and Ronald Isley for tax evasion. So usually people don't get off on that. So that's the funny thing that people wasn't even paying attention to, and that's what went under the radar. That's what kind of spooked me.
They locked Ronald Isley up?
Yeah.
Ronald boy to Atlantis?
You don't get off on tax evasion. And that was the funny thing about it. It was like, why is the whole news media focused on this while other things are going on?
As always, who can really say like this is specifically what's going on? But then I always put the mirror back on to individuals. Like, why would you even allow that? Like, I thought that all powers to the people. The government is supposed to actually represent what the people want and view. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the whole world just, we ain't right. We just not right. To allow these things to happen on U.S. soil and you proud to be an American and you not, I don't know, man. Then I would be a hypocrite because I'm like, well, shit, what do you do? What can you do?
I think the first thing that you can do as an American citizen is actually pay attention to what's going on.
Okay.
So anytime that they just plaster stuff on the news media, anything on social media, you always have to remember in the back of your head there's a man behind the curtain.
Okay. Wizard of Oz type.
Yeah, there's always a man behind the curtain. They're putting this in your face for a reason, just so they won't let you pay attention to what's really going on. Let's not get it confused. The news media, the government, big tech, all these folks are working together.
Oh, fast.
And the reason why they're working together is because, major reason, the government doesn't want to go against your constitutional rights. They don't want to put it in your face. But what they will do is talk to these corporations. So just like how we already know the First Amendment right is freedom of speech.
Oh boy, it ain't that.
But they dodge it because they work with big tech. And they say, shut out this account. They don't tell you that they're saying shut out this account because they're saying some things. But what they will say is, this is a private company, so you can't get mad at it.
You go against the what is it? User guidelines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a loophole, and that's probably one of the greatest things that's been happening is because a lot of things have been getting exposed. So I want to go back to the point because I really want to dig deep in the point that you were talking about with the submarine is how people are reacting to it. Because we've been so desensitized that we're able to actually sit here and dehumanize our own brothers and sisters. I'm not saying as a color wise, but I'm saying brothers and sisters as in human beings.
Facts. Man, it's so crazy. I even seen that like everything is a joke and it's not, that shit ain't funny. Like even when I take it back, even when I seen like Tina Turner pass, and I seen a meme where they had Ike looking down. That shit, look,
God dang it.
See that what I'm saying, man? We don't give a fuck. We don't care. Man, I heard Charleston White say something and it touched me because it alarmed me too. He was speaking on I forgot
and go
what
follow Charleston White.
Man,
he got some gold.
Dog. I seen him talk to these dudes and they were he was saying black folks are starting to turn into the oppressors that lynched you. And they come around and just look at you, have a picnic, probably chop off pieces of your body and just, bro, we turning into them folks, man. We evil, dog. We evil.
And I think that I talked to you about that. It was like it's a Stockholm syndrome thing. Like we've turned into our captors.
And that ain't cute. That ain't it.
And I won't even say it so much as just with white individuals. I would say it is also like just people in general that we have this anger in us.
Right.
This people have the ability to be as evil as possible. And we forget that.
It just be like, oh well, it is what it is. Like y'all, that's what I'm saying. Like the things we should be counseling, well, we don't give a fuck about it. We don't give a damn about it.
But it was so crazy with the whole submersible situation with OceanGate. It's like people don't care about these individuals because they were billionaires. But it's like, bro, you just sound like a dude that's pocket watching.
Dog, I beg to differ. It ain't even, it could have been anybody, just the situation. If you can make a joke about it, we gonna make a joke about it. And it shows you how crazy this groupthink is. The internet is just, whoever came up with this, brilliant, right? So if you really want to control the masses and get everybody on the same page, put a post out. Yeah. See how many people like it. Matter of fact, if you put a little money behind it, we'll shop it out there for you. We will push that message out. We've seen history where subliminal messaging is real. You see enough of it on your timeline, on your screen, whatever, you start to embody that. You start to accept that. And it's crazy, bro. It's just, like I said, I don't know what need to happen, but I'm scared what must happen if we don't get it right ourselves.